What is going on, world? So I want to talk about my baby today.
Yeah, I eat milk. Eating milk.
Yeah, she just had a bowl of cereal. That's my wild thornberry. But one thing I want to say about these kids, man, these little ones, is that when they making a mess, being what you might call bad, as long as they ain't being all the way out of pocket, making noise, playing too much, won't sit down, talking all day, just all kind of stuff like that. A lot of times that's a good thing to be happy about, really, because that's usually a sign of good life, right? When a a kid is just way too quiet, just don't do nothing. Sometimes that could be a sign of feeling unsafe or uncomfortable or unfamiliar with their environment, right? Even when I take her to places like the grocery store, she never been there before. She not that familiar with her environment, but she familiar with the people she's getting out with. She just talkative. She walk by everybody. How are you? How are you? Hello. How are you? Hello. Hey, wait, guys. I remember one day I took her to the park for a walk, and it was this old man jogging. And she seen the old man pass us up, and so she just started jogging. And she running behind this old man, and she was like, hey, wait for me. Wait for me. I'm like, girl, you don't even know him.
Wait a me. Wait a me.
I'm like, girl, you don't even know him. Like, stop all that. And she was like, all right, grandpa. I'm like, you know what? All right. All right. Like, you just don't know this, man. But you want to know something, though? You have to be able to tolerate kids being kids. I remember at a point in time when I didn't have the Lord in my life. You know, I was a very easily annoyed person. I was always yelling, always frustrated, always mad, just always on edge for I don't know what reason. I just couldn't tolerate my kids being kids, making noise, being loud, throwing toys in their bedroom, playing tag, tattletelling. I just couldn't take it for I don't know what reason. Then, long story short, sometime after I got saved and everything, God had to check me about that. He was like, wait a minute. What is so wrong with you right now that these kids can't be kids? That's just what they do. That's what you used to do. That's just how kids is. You can't beat the kid out of a kid. You can't yell the kid out of a kid. If you got a problem with it, you do this. You go play with them too. How about you go loosen up and you go get down in the dirt with them and make a mud pie too? I'm like, you know what? That's actually a good idea. So that's kind of why I like to keep my childlike nature alive, because it allows you to re-experience curiosity. You know, it allows you to have more patience, more gentleness, more kindness. It's easy to relate to reality and not just live in the world you wish the world was. What, baby?
I break it.
No, you didn't break it. You probably got some milk on it, and now the screen don't touch. Look, every time she got that tablet, an ad pop up, she can't skip it. Daddy, I broke it.
Daddy.
The screen turn off. Daddy, I broke it. Ad. Well, yeah, I said that part already. Sorry about that, but it's just kids being kids, you know. I don't know where it's at. Oh, it's down there on the ground. Look on the ground up underneath the couch. Look at my shirt. Look at my shirt right there. You yelling at? All right, look right there. Yeah, I just be trying to show her directions and all that kind of stuff. But man, kids is gonna be kids, man. And it's not about how annoying your kids is. It's about why are you so easily annoyed? Why? What's so wrong with you that kids can't be kids? You know, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, right? The reason this whole topic even came to my mind in the first place is because some of my favorite content creators, it's happening too much these days. Some of my favorite content creators have lost kids recently. I didn't know nothing about it, and I'm just like, man, I don't know if I would ever, ever. I would never be able to imagine going through something like that. You know, some of my closest people have lost husbands, wives, and things like that. You know, like even in the city we live in right now, it's a lot of gun violence, and people's kids are being involved in gun violence and things like that. Man, kids going to jail for killing other people's kids and all of that kind of stuff. And look, I hope I don't end up shadow banned for my language. I'm not necessarily talking in a negative way, but I'm saying this for a positive message here. But it's just too much loss going on these days. It don't even have to be kids, husbands and wives, people that you would never be able to imagine your life without, right? Just enjoy the moments y'all got with people, man, because they ain't gonna always be here the way that they are. I mean, kids grow up, all of that, man, and you're gonna be looking back on old pictures and be like, why don't you do this anymore? And why don't you do that anymore? And why don't you want to hang out with me like you used to anymore? It's like they just grow up, right? Like I would much rather deal with a baby being loud, crying, just climbing on me, doing too much, crumbs all on the floor. I would much rather deal with that than a teenager lying to me about everything, stealing out of my dresser drawers. I would much rather deal with crumbs on the floor, having to vacuum every 2 hours, than every time you turn around, it's another prom. Every time you turn around, it's another school dance. F's and D's and boys and girls and, you know, having to ground people and all of that, man. It's like, man, come on, man. Like that to me sound like a much bigger headache than crumbs and filling up sippy cups and spilling a food and accidentally knocking over something or just something like that, man. It's just every stage of life is gonna have its challenges, y'all. And it's not about being upset at the world or being upset at your life because of the challenges you have. It's what is so wrong with you that you believe you can't have any. Because life is not going to fall in line with what you believe it should be. The world don't revolve around how you feel today. If you just too tired to get out of bed, that don't mean that the baby ain't gonna get hungry until you get up. If you got a headache, guess what? That don't mean everybody else don't need you. You know what I'm saying? So always examine yourself before you let having kids run you raggedy. Ask yourself this: what is so wrong with you that you allow the things you do have in your life to run you raggedy? Is there not a God that live in you that will give you peace that surpass all understanding? When my baby is throwing a fit, crying, acting like a total fool because I took her tablet away, I can literally tune that out and just sit here and look at TV. And then she noticed I'm tuning her out and I'm just looking at TV. She get louder. Ah, you hear me? I'm looking at you now. Ah, I'm just like, you know what? You don't scare me. And you ain't making me mad either. I'm gonna just sit here and look at some TV. She's spilling milk on the couch. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I ain't enthused about that. Cause guess who gotta clean it? Me. The parent who's been a professional upholstery cleaner for the last 8 years. Me. But not one of the teenage kids. Me. Right? I ain't no enthused about that, but I just expect for that stuff to happen. Every time this baby climb out of bed, I expect for stuff to get messed up. All day long, this house can stay messed up. When it's time for bed, go ahead and clean. Soon as she climb out of bed, I expect to look at a mess. I just approach life from that perspective. I expect for her to be loud. I expect for her to do too much. I expect for her to end up crying. I expect for her to end up acting like a fool and talking my head off. I just expect it. And with that being said, it's always a way you can approach life that can allow you to deal with the challenges a lot better. I said in one of my other videos, you don't always have to struggle. I wouldn't just talk about struggling financially and all of that other stuff. I am no financial expert. All right. I'm not. I'm talking about struggle, period. You don't always gotta struggle. There's a way for you to look at what it is you see as a struggle to stop being looked at like that. Because the way you see stuff is not gonna make reality change. You can't change the world by putting on different glasses. If it's daytime, it's daytime, no matter how dark your shades are. Putting on dark shades is not automatically gonna make it nighttime. Right? It don't matter how big of a flashlight you got, that won't make it daytime. It don't matter how short of a pair of shorts you go outside and wear, that won't automatically turn winter into summer. If you learn to approach reality for what it is and not for what you feel like it should be because of what you feel like or because of how you see it, then you can have more power and control on how you deal with everything. Most of people's biggest problems in life is due to not having power over certain challenges and obstacles. The vast majority of what everybody is fighting over all day long is power. Power over my spouse. I want them to be who I want them to be. Power over my finances. I want it to be what I want it to be. Power over how I feel today. Power over how my customers treat me when I'm out doing services. Power over what kind of car I drive. Power over the neighborhood I live in. Most of what people fight for all day long is actually deep rooted in power. It's not about the what, it's about the why. Why do you complain? Because you don't have power. And you don't have power because you don't first take the materials you got to work with as what they are. If I knew that a knife was a knife, I wouldn't try and use it as a fork or a spoon. If I knew that kids do too much, I wouldn't start expecting my day to go perfectly as I imagine it. If I know that a baby got a propensity to make a mess and take a spoon and start scooping milk into her hand like she's doing right now and spilling it all over her tablet and then complaining to me because her screen won't touch, like just knowing that, I got a rag ready. You know what I'm saying? And if I ain't got a rag ready, I at least know how to get one ready. Like before I made her that bowl of cereal, I knew it was going to be a mess. Knew it. Before she get dressed, she about to get dirty. You know, so let me change my expectations on reality and take it for what it is. And I might be able to be on top of what I get. If I was on top of what to expect because I'm on top of what it is, then I can be on top of how to deal with everything.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Look at her. You crazy. Hey, don't she remind you of that little boy from Wild Thornberries? What's his name? The little wild one. Nah, I don't think she looked like a boy. That's not what I'm saying. But yeah, that little boy, man, they act just alike. I am not lying. Whew. Man, last night she wore me all the way out. Having me chase her through the house, playing hide and seek. Every night. Hey, daddy, let's go zombie. Let's go zombie.
Yummy!
Man, she loving when I be playing zombie with her. Like, she just think it's so funny. I'm like, I do not feel like running around this loop all night long. I just can't do it. I don't see how you got that much energy for real. But it is what it is, though. You know, always take advantage of the moments you have by looking at reality for what it is, you know, man, because one day your kid's gonna get a little older and you're gonna long for the days when they used to just annoy you. One day your daughter is gonna grow up, possibly find a husband, and you're gonna long for the days when she used to hold your hand in the store and say, Daddy, I want this. I want this, Daddy. I want this. I want this. He like, my baby don't ask me for nothing no more. Nothing. You know, it just is what it is, though. And even my oldest biological daughter, you know, heck, I mean, like, to me, she's still a baby. Still. I still call her my baby, no matter what. I call all of them my baby. I don't never not call them that, because that's how they always be to me, you know? And think about this, right? If you are so always frustrated, yelling, mad, complaining about how your kids can be with you, what do you think the Most High God should feel about how you is with him? Think about the number of things he's been sending messengers to correct you on as often as is needed, that you still have yet to change. Think about all the things in your life that you know you need to do. Stuff that should be easy that you just don't do. And then when one of your kids don't do what you expect them to do, oh, now the whole world get flipped upside down. Now, what if God dealt with you like that? Yeah, you should chastise your kids. Yeah, you should discipline them when they're wrong. But just leave it at that. Don't let that alter your whole mood. Don't let that ruin your whole day. It ain't gotta be like that. The only time I ever want alone time from my kids is when I need to work. Me, I've been pretty much off work for the most part for like the last 6 months. Dead serious, I have. And not one of them days have I longed for alone time away from kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't require alone time away from kids just because I just want to be away from kids. I usually require alone time away from other grown people, honestly. Not kids. Like, if I was able to drag a kid with me to and from job sites, I would. And in fact, I have. My 9-year-old daughter, she been with me on many days when I went to go clean carpets and couches, and when I'm at the car lot doing details and all that other stuff. She been with me on many days when you know, I had to photograph weddings and do video and all of that other stuff. She even helped me do some of my YouTube videos. Like, I could have easily said, oh yeah, you need to go back home with your mom because I got work to do. Like, there are some things she just can't go to. Especially if I know it's about to be a 10, 11 hour day. Like, no, I'm sorry, because I know you're going to be bored for 10, 11 hours, and I'd much rather you be at home with your game and your toys and your friends for this much time, right? Like, maybe you can hop on for the 4 hours and then just have her come pick you up. You know what I mean? But if I had things to do that kids could do, I would probably never call a sitter. I would probably never need one. If the kid can come, they will. But a whole lot of what I do, they can't come to, you know. But if they could, they will. Dead serious. They really will. If I gotta go to the grocery store, I ain't about to not go. All because, well, hey, like, I know my baby gonna be bad. Like, no, like, we gonna take this baby. She gonna be bad. And if she get out of line, out of pocket, but then she could get checked. Period. That's just how it is. But I ain't about to put myself in positions to where they can never get raised right, all because there's some work that need to be done. I would much rather know. I would much rather know this kid got a problem with being out in public than to always avoid taking them out in public because of how they act. Right? Man, look at what. What you doing? All right, you know, you about to clean that up. Yeah. You gonna clean that up, not me. You. See? I would much rather be in a situation like that where I could teach her how to clean up after herself. You know, she do know how to clean up after herself. But she always tend to go grab and use up all the baby wipes, though. Like, no, some things we could just use a rag for. Like, them things is an expensive paper towel, you know. And but still, y'all, just enjoy the life y'all got.
Dad, you gotta say.
Huh? Huh? I don't know what she's saying. Oh, did I tell y'all that she is obsessed with ducks? Ducks and chickens and birds of all sorts. Look at. Look, what's this? Hey, look, stop hitting your daddy. You making a mess on my camera lens.
Hey, go. And then I like it.
What you need? Yeah, she's obsessed with ducks. She got like maybe 30, 40 rubber ducks of all shapes and sizes and all that kind of stuff. It's just funny. But other than that, y'all, I thought I might drop this out here for y'all today. Y'all have a good, blessed rest of y'all day. And after this video, just go and approach life differently. From here on out, just approach the life you got in front of you differently. You want to know why you don't like the life you have and you wish you could live like everybody else? Because they took the life they had and they made the best out of it. You can't sit on the periphery somewhere and wish you could be the one scoring points on the sidelines, but yet you don't want to come to practice, right? And that's what most people are. Most people look at everybody else's life from Facebook and social media and all of that other stuff, and they sit there and they get depressed because theirs is not like somebody else's, but yet you don't do what somebody else did. You don't take the time to work on what you have and enjoy what you have like somebody else did. And this go for everything else in your life, not just how you approach your kids and stuff like that. The grass is greener on the other side because they watered it on the other side. So if you water the grass you have, it'll be greener on your side too. That's all I'm saying. Peace.